Welcome to this guide video where I explain what cells are, how to obtain them, and how to use the Middleman services to get the cells you need to create your ideal build. So, what are cells? Cells are augments that you can freely swap in and out of your weapons, lanterns, and armor to increase the level of perks. To equip any cells you have, just go into your loadout, select a piece of armor or a weapon that you have equipped, click on the cell slot, and choose the cell you want to equip to that piece of gear. The piece of armor or weapon must have the same corresponding cell symbol for any cell with those exact same symbols to be equipped. Currently, there are 5 types of cell families, each with their own symbol, which are defense, power, mobility, technique, and utility. Almost every weapon and armor piece gives a single perk that falls under one of these 5 families, excluding repeaters, lanterns, and exotic weapons or armor. The perks on these armor and weapons scale from +1, +2, and +3 when they are at their respective upgrade levels of +6 and +10. Each weapon will have 2 cell slots, while each armor piece will only have 1 cell slot. That differs depending on the weapon or armor pieces you use and the behemoths it's made from, with the only exceptions to the rule being repeaters, as their cell slots remain the same even if you swap out their parts, and lanterns, which all have utility slots. Perks can have effects ranging from increasing your lantern charge to increasing your critical strike chance. So mix and match your weapons, armor, and lanterns to create a build that suits your playstyle. Keep in mind, however, that perks can only be increased to a max level of 6, so it won't have any additional effect beyond +6. So how do you obtain cells? There are currently 3 ways to get them, which are by opening cell cores, which can be obtained from doing quests, leveling up your masteries, or leveling up your hunt pass, getting one as a drop after a hunt, and purchasing them from the Middleman using either platinum or aether dust. Speaking of the Middleman, if you're having trouble obtaining a cell that you want, the Middleman makes your life much easier. His services include selling 1 epic cell and 2 rare cells on a weekly rotation, dusting unwanted cells for aether dust, and fusing 2 cells together to create better cells. Now, let's first talk about the cells that you can purchase on a weekly rotation. These cells can be bought using either platinum or aether dust, but let's be real here, you should never purchase cells with platinum because it's so easy to acquire aether dust. The Middleman will always have 1 +3 cell and 2 +2 cells for sale every week, with the +3 costing 160 aether dust and each +2 costing 80 aether dust. How do you acquire aether dust though? Well, you simply need to click on the button that says My Cells at the bottom of the UI and scroll through the list of cells that you currently own to see if there are any useless or unwanted cells that you may not need. Once you have identified the cells you want to dust, simply click on the cell and hold down the button for a second or two to dust that cell. Cells of different rarities give different dust values, which are 10 aether dust for +1 cells, 20 aether dust for +2 cells, and 40 aether dust for +3 cells. I personally recommend you only dust +1 cells you don't want, as they're easier to obtain than +2 or +3 cells, but if you have an excess amount, feel free to dust them. The last service he offers is fusing. Fusing allows anyone to fuse their +1 or +2 cells together to create a better version of that cell, or reroll a +3 cell with the cost of 2000 rams to get a different +3 cell. At the start, you'll only have 1 cell fusion slot available to you, with the other 2 requiring platinum to unlock. Honestly, you don't really need the other 2 fusion slots, but if you feel like they would save you more time, then I recommend purchasing the 2nd fusion slot only, as it costs only 500 platinum, while the 3rd fusion slot costs 1000, which is the equivalent of 1 hunt pass. So it's better to not do that. When fusing +1 or +2 cells together, there are 3 methods of fusion to obtain a better cell, which are by fusing 2 of the exact same cell together, fusing 2 cells within the same family together and fusing different cells within different families together. These three methods apply to both +1 and +2 cells, so keep that in mind in order to guarantee you get the cell you want. Fusing two of the same cell together is the best method for acquiring it, as it 100% guarantees that you will obtain an upgraded version of the same cell after the fusion process is completed. For example, assuming you want a +3 etheric attunement, you ideally want to fuse two +2 etheric attunements together to create the +3. What do you do when you don't have two of the same cell though? Well, if you don't have two of the same cell, the best thing to do is to fuse two cells within the same family together to reduce the RNG. What this does is it will narrow the pool of cells down that the fusion process will pull from to that specific family of cells, which will give you a higher chance of obtaining the cell you want. What if you don't have any utility cells though? The last method, which is the most unreliable, is to fuse two different cells from two completely different families together, like so. This is the most unreliable method because it will pull from the entire cell pool, which reduces the chances of obtaining the desired cell, but the chances of you getting it are slim, so it's better than nothing. Fusing 2 + 1 cells takes 1 day to complete. Fusing 2 + 2 cells takes 2 days to complete. And re-rolling a +3 cell with 2000 RAMs takes 3 days to complete. The fusion process can be sped up with ACE chips, as one ACE chip is equivalent to 1 hour of time. But I advise not spending any ACE chips that are given to you for free at the start unless you know exactly what cell you want. ACE chips can be purchased for platinum from the store or earned through the hunt pass on both basic and elite tracks. Overall, cells give the game more depth and complexity, allowing players to customize their playstyle however they want, and with the Middleman, it's easy to get the cells you want. Thanks for watching the video. If you found it informative and helpful, considering subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and checking out my Twitch channel with the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.